I want to go to your calls, but first, in the last week, we did 2 special videos that we posted at prisonplanet.tv in the highest quality, but also for everybody at my Alex Jones YouTube channel that has over 60 million views, or right at 60 million views. One of our 8 channels, 150 million plus views total, showing the success we're having. These last 2 videos, one has had 400,000 views, the other right at 200,000 views. It needs to be a lot more than that. And it's a major health announcement. And of course, I put this video out, Food, the Ultimate Secret Exposed, 15-minute video about a week and a half ago. In the last week, we've seen 2 new videos that we've also posted on this subject. One of them, brain-eating viruses, because that's what these behavior viruses do. They want to inject you with a vaccine that, quote, makes it where you can't get angry anymore, blocking the receptors in the brain that would absorb hormones associated with aggression and stress and resistance. And that's what sodium fluoride and bisphenol A and all the rest of these chemicals admittedly do. And now they're admitting all over the news, all these big studies that, of course, just add them to the stack, that high fructose corn syrup is brain damaging you, causing cancer, destroying your pancreas. It's all in these videos. So please go watch them. Media pushes brain-eating vaccines is one, and Food, the Ultimate Secret Exposed is the other video. Very important information. Lewis in Ohio. Lewis, you're on the air.
Hello, Alex. I'm a first-time caller and who got through on his first attempt. I've been listening to you for about a year, and in that time I've come to understand what a true constitutionally based patriot is all about and the tyranny that's going on. So thank you very much for enlightening me. And I have an idea for us all. It might help in exposing stupidity and tyranny. I recall listening to your show a few days ago, and you were talking about how you coined the word. You said Obamatron. I like Obamatons. But why not get all of your listeners to start using either Tron or Ton, whatever it is you decide, which is best. And by doing this...
What word did I say I coined? Because I'm not remembering this.
I think you said Obamatrons, and I like Obamatons. But the point is this. Will Smith, the individual, he's a movie star, rapper, he put a new word in the English language, getting jiggy. And it took about 10 years. So why not have a new word that describes people who continually elect politicians who lie, cheat, and steal from them? And
I think they have a word. I think it's called schmucks.
Right, but if you use Obamaton, then this, to me, would kind of like wake people up. They would immediately grab onto it. You know, you're talking about Obama, the president of the United States of America. I mean, you're using his name there. But that's just something that I thought might serve, you know, like you did with telling other people to internet search tap water. Well, if 60 million people were to start using the word Obamaton to describe fools who continually elect tyrants, it might start people to think, you know, what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't remember the word I coined. You may have misheard me. You're saying Obama-timed?
Obamaton.
Oh, yeah, so yes, Obamatrons.
Right.
Or Obamatons. Yes, I don't know if I coined Obamaton, but I don't remember. But I think I've heard others use that. Obamaton would mean like a mindless robot. So that's an interesting idea, Lewis. I appreciate your call. Very interesting. All right, I'm going to try to just blitz through calls. Adam, Julio, Ty, Ernie, Mike, Gary, Lisa, Chuck, Jared. I'm going to try to jam in one call a minute in this final segment coming up. All the other news and info we didn't get to is up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And we couldn't do any of this without you, the great listeners, taking action. That's why the establishment is now moving to try to curtail and shut down freedom on the web, because we're kicking their butt. I'm a political atheist, to use a term that Gerald Celente coined. By the way, he's on with us tomorrow. Or is it Tuesday? Tomorrow. Got some other big guests throughout the week. I'll just leave it at that. Some surprise info. And I just go research the facts and see what the globalists are actually saying in their white papers, and I gauge that through a historical lens, and then I come and talk about it on air. I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, I'm a truth teller, a freedom lover, someone who wants to be free and for my family to be free and for you to be free. And I'm against whatever the unelected New World Order is up to from A to Z. Now let's take 9 phone calls in the last 10 minutes. Adam in Virginia, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. This is Adam in Virginia calling. There was a show on CNN last night called Toxic America. Have you heard anything of that? Have you seen that by chance?
No.
Okay. You know how you always play that clip of the mercury, is how it's good for your brain and all that clip? Well, I got another clip. This one was about BPA. And the lady was basically saying that it's great, there's nothing wrong with it, and the FDA approves it, and they say it's okay.
So wait a minute. The FDA came out last week and said that we shouldn't have approved this, and it is causing cancer, bisphenol A. You're telling me CNN said it was good?
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and you just put in Toxic Space America Space Whelan, her name is W-H-E-L-A-N. It's the first link on YouTube. It's 6 minutes long, and it's a debate between Sanjay Gupta, there's the doctor in stage and the doctor on the TV, and that's the one who was saying about BPA being good, basically.
Now wait a minute. This is what's in the lining of many soft drinks, fruit packages, meat packages. 4 states have banned it. I mean, it's admittedly, it's in 40% of the companies that have printer ink. When you get a receipt, just a little bit of it can really reduce your fertility and give you cancer. This is 100%, they admit it, and they're saying it's good. Now, what's the name of the YouTube video again? Because I want to pull this up.
Okay, the actual clip name is Dr. Elizabeth Whelan discussing children's health and environmental on CNN, but that's too long. So if you just YouTube...
No, we'll pull it up. Dr. Elizabeth Whelan. I'll get Matt Ryan pulling double duty in here on Sunday to post the YouTube video up at Infowars.com by about 10 minutes after the show. I appreciate your call, Adam. Great point. Julio in Illinois, welcome.
Alex Jones, I love you, and I love all the InfoWarriors continuously spreading the truth throughout the world. God bless you all. Quickly, T-shirt idea and another idea. Number 1, freedom movement, and on the back, unlock the Pandora's box called the mind, Infowars.com. As you mentioned, you talked about Cass Sunstein and his ridiculous white paper conspiracy theories. I'm for certain that they have COINTELPRO infiltrating the Tea Party. Forget the Tea Party. As Martin Luther King said, we're here to collect a debt. That debt is our freedom. Think about that idea, the freedom movement, a T-shirt. Secondly, I'm proud of the poison tap water Google search term. I got my girlfriend to switch to Tom's of Maine fluoride-free toothpaste. Everyone needs to do that. It's unbelievable toothpaste. It's like $4 or wherever. It's the best.
Yeah, I mean, we did make poison tap water the #1 search on Google. Great job, listeners. Julio, got to jump. Great job. It's one person at a time we're going to save here. Getting the word out. Keep it up. Ty in New York, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, Alex. Thanks a lot for taking my call. Quick question / comment. Okay, so during the Continental Congress, as you well know, there were people for war with the Empire or England, and there were people against war with the Empire and England. And what I was interested in is, I mean, we know and hear daily from you and other people who are enlightened about these things that they're obviously trying to crush us. They are trying to kill us. This is overt. There is nothing really hidden about it. And just like on a micro level, if someone comes to you and wants to attack or assault your person, you have to defend yourself. So my question is, when or how much do we take before we mass a force of our own? And I don't say this in the terms of violence, but again, in the sense of civil disobedience as a MLK type of march, a Gandhi type sit-in.
Well, we are being assaulted by the fluoride, the bisphenol A, the GMO, the corn syrup, and we have a right to go to our cities and say, listen, you can sit there and giggle, you little crook, to whatever mayor it is, But we've got all the major top scientists, all of them, from the EPA coming out in the last decade saying take it out, you know, the fluoride. And we need to get really aggressive about this because we are being assaulted financially by the bankers. We are being assaulted by NAFTA and GATT. We are being assaulted by the police state. And it's time to get angry. And, you know, the awakening's happening now, Ty. I appreciate your call. Ernie in Nebraska. Ernie, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. Love what's going on. I've handed out probably 1,000 copies of various DVDs. Got a couple things for you. One, you say everybody has a blind spot in certain areas, and I believe I know what your blind spot is. I'm going to send you a PowerPoint slideshow that will give you 150 years of history, law, federal code, case law, the whole bit, which will open up your eyes to the blind spot.
What is my blind spot?
Your blind spot. You keep saying that our government has been taken over by corporations, when the fact is, according to the law and history, our government has not been taken over. It is a corporation. And you are seen as simply an asset of the corporation. It goes from God. God created sovereign man. Man created the states. States created the federal government. How can the created have power over the creator?
Well,
they've created a corporation, which then created other entities. Anyway, this slideshow will give you the history of it. Now, Larry B. Kraft has said, oh, this is, patriot mythology, but he never gives any legal basis for it. And one of the things is he's an attorney. No attorney will challenge this and get you to think outside the box.
Okay, I'll look into it, Ernie. I'll look into it. I appreciate your call. Mike in California, you're on the air.
Thanks, Al. I just wanted to ask you a constitutional question.
Okay.
Article 1, Section 8 seems to limit the power of Congress to the district, which is Washington, D.C., and any property purchased from the states with the state's consent. Outside of that, it doesn't seem to have any authority whatsoever. What do you think?
I agree with you, and that's why major states are now threatening to take national parks back from the feds, and major states are also saying, like Nevada and Utah and others, where upwards of 90% in those states is federal controlled and owned, the states have the power to stake a claim and take it back and then sell it at very reduced prices to fund themselves and fund the state government. And so we need to move in this direction.
All right, I appreciate that. It just seems funny that Congress has all this authority when the Constitution doesn't give it to them.
No, exactly. And we have to stand up and say, you're out of line. You're not allowed to take our baby's blood secretly at birth for a Pentagon database. You're not allowed to bathe us in radiation and record our naked bodies and save it. You're not allowed to violate the Bill of Rights and Constitution. Here it is. U.S. national parks face sale. Governor of Wyoming threatens to sell chunk of Grand Teton. Didn't know you could say that on the radio. Unless White House boosts state's education budget. That's an attempt at a pun or a joke, folks. Didn't know you could say that on the radio, Grand Teton. That says in French. Let's go ahead and talk to Mike in California. Mike, you're on the air. Go ahead. We just went to Mike. Sorry. Gary in Washington, D.C. Go ahead.
Alex, how are you today?
Good, sir.
Listen, in the 1 minute we have, I think we agree on a lot of stuff. You've said that there are secret societies that are not so secret anymore, the Illuminati, Skull and Bones, the Luciferians, the Knights of Templar. You've said there's the Bohemian Grove, the Bilderberg Group, the Club of Rome, the United Nations, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the G20 Summit, all working together.
And there's also mafias. There's the Italian mafia, the Jewish mafia, the Japanese mafia, the Chinese mafia, did I mention Jewish mafia? There's different other Asian gangs. I mean, that's all government is a collection of mafias.
But here's the thing, Alex. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the richest, most powerful people in the world, a very small group. Many of them are hitting their 80s, looking for ways to outlive their normal lifespan. While they poison the water, they poison the air, they poison the food, yes, they poison the vaccines. And here's my question for you, Alex. One, it's a three-part question. One, what is wrong with the frog that is starting to boil in the water right now, having a million-man march with our arms that we are allowed to bear in this city, in Washington, D.C.?
The problem is the feds would stage a bombing and blame it on us. but we have had peaceful marches, and that's an old-fashioned way of getting media attention. How about we have a march on the internet, a march on talk radio, a march on our local state houses? Instead of focusing just on Washington, take the states back with nullification under the 9th and 10th Amendment to block the feds. I'm out of time, Gary and Lisa and Chuck and Jared and Moses.